Hi, my name is Anik Glaude and I'm the curator at the Varley Art Gallery of Markham. I don't usually look like this, especially not in the gallery, but since we weren't able to be together at the gala, which is a great time to dress up, I figure I would bring a bit of the glam and the glitz inside the gallery. It also helps that my dress matches the color scheme of the show. So curators think a lot about those things. This wasn't pre-planned, but it's a nice coincidence. So thank you for joining us tonight and supporting the Varley-McKay Art Foundation of Markham. And joining us for a short tour of our current exhibition at the gallery. We are reopened, so you are free to join us on the weekend from 12 to 4. We're also open during the week, Wednesday to Friday by appointment. So with COVID, the gallery had to change its plans a little bit, and over the course of the summer, I was able to plan a new exhibition called The Ties That Bind Us, that features 41 works from the permanent collection of the Varley Art Gallery. This was exciting for me because what I did was that I went through the racks and that I found works that we might not have seen for over 10 years or more, sometimes 20 years. So that's really exciting. I think there's a common percentage out there that a gallery only shows maybe 1 or 3% of their collection. That's in part because some of the works are fragile, or when you have a lot of works, you just can't rotate them. We have a small collection, about 550 artworks. In our main gallery, we usually feature the work of contemporary living artists from York Region or other places. But it is really exciting to be able to show the collection. So this exhibition, we're now in the intro gallery, is divided into 4 parts. The idea that I had for the show was that curating an exhibition is almost like a writer writing a story, and that each chapter, the story evolves. And so also being mindful that as the curator, I'm the one that's orchestrating all of these works and putting them together. So I invite the visitor to look at the works and create their own stories, their own relationships between the works. So the 4 themes or topics that are explored in the show is portraiture. So we're in the intro gallery, and we have a series of portraits, both self-portraits and portraits made by other artists. And all the way from the 1700s to the 2000s. So it's a really interesting way to see how portrait has evolved and how artists think about the body differently. So in this room is titled To Lend a Hand. This is one of the more thematic of the groupings that I've done. All of the works relate to the hand in some way or another, whether it's visual or thematic. We're thinking a lot about things like hand washing and social distancing. So even doing a handshake is quite different these days than it was 7 months ago. And so that kind of image of the hand really stuck with me. We have, for example, this is a painting by Christina Seeley from 2000. Could also have been in the portrait section, but I was really struck by here you have a single or a figure lying in bed with a hand outstretched. We also have images of hands by Sorel Etrog, etchings. Etrog was in a car accident that really injured his hands and affected his art practice. So those are 2 examples of works in this section. So in the 3rd section of the show, which is called The Sum of Its Parts, we look at architecture or details of buildings, whether we're talking about industrial buildings or homes, how artists represent 3-dimensionality in 2-dimensional. With one exception, we do have a sculpture, but I wanted to just highlight these drawings by an artist, a British artist called Charlotte Price. There's these exquisite drawings, pencil drawings, that the artist did in around the 1840s when she did a grand tour of Europe. So we have scenes of Germany, of France, of Italy. These wonderful either portions or full kind of landscapes, incredibly detailed. They're really fun to look at and really shows the breadth and the diversity in the collection. So finally, in this center space, in the last of the 4 themes of the exhibition, we have artworks that depict the Arctic. I had to do a count. We have about 88 works in the collection that represent the Arctic in some way, whether it's painting, drawing, we even have some photographs as well. However, from these works, only 30% are actually created by Inuk artists, so artists from the north. So to me that's a problem because even though these works are historic and many of them were done by either the Group of Seven, so Varley or other artists that traveled to the north, it doesn't depict the north by the people that live there. So our view and our understanding of a place is changed whether we are from there or if somebody's visiting our home. So I'm standing beside this wonderful drawing by the artist Pudlu Pudlat. It was created in 89-90. It's a wonderful depiction of a team of sled dogs. You can see here, and the very kind of animated leads here that you can see. What's wonderful about this work and the artist is that he is one of the first Inuk artists to really document the changing times in the Arctic and for the Inuit. So, and he's a very significant artist. What's lacking in the collection is really what came afterwards. So he did influence quite a few and a new generation of artists. So artists that have been doing prints. So the Inuit are famous for their stone-cut prints or lithographs. But there's also very exciting young artists that are practicing in photography, in drawing, and even in painting. And so we're looking forward to adding some of those works to our collection to really offer, to give these artists a voice and an agency and to transform the collection. So part of this fundraiser will be to collect funds towards the acquisition of works. So the Varley-McKay Art Foundation was established to, in part, support the acquisition of works for the Varley Art Gallery of Markham. And I want to take this time to thank them. Because of them, we've been able to grow the collection over 5-fold throughout these almost 25 years that the gallery's been open. And what we've decided this year with this fundraiser is to focus on efforts on collecting contemporary works by Inuk artists. So among the wonderful work that the Varley-McKay Art Foundation does for the gallery is to support the growing of our permanent collection. And so specifically, they provide funds for the purchasing of artworks. And so this year, what we wanted to do was to focus and offer you the possibility of contributing to that effort directly. What we're trying to do is to grow our collection of contemporary Inuit art. We have wonderful works by artists such as Pudlu Pudlat, Kiakshuk, and others in the collection, but none that are past, say, 1990. So there's a huge span of artists, of styles, and mediums that are missing. And so with your generous donation, we can start in giving these artists a voice and agency in our collection.